Well, he'll be laying a wreath at the tomb of late Queen Elizabeth, someone the president has spoken fondly about throughout the years. Remember, on his last royal visit, this is an unprecedented royal visit, it's the second one, which no U.S. president has been given that honor. It was during Queen Elizabeth's reign, and they met at Buckingham Palace, and he had talked about really just in absolute terms of what a spectacular person she was, and he continues to do so. This time around, he says it's with his friend, someone he's been friends with for years, King Charles. So that will be a somber moment. We do know that they just went in now inside the halls of Windsor Castle after all the pomp and circumstance and the Star-Spangled Banner being played here at Windsor Castle, and they're going into a luncheon. So the rest of the day will be really all the theater of a state visit. This evening is when things start to pivot a little bit more towards deals, the economic ties between these two countries, because the president is going to be flanked by the top executives from the United States, whether it's Larry Fink and really the tech space, NVIDIA's Jensen Huang. Microsoft was just inked a huge deal in the U.S. to spend more than $30 billion in building out its AI capacity. So that's when things are going to slowly start to progress into the more business relationship. For now, it's all pomp and circumstance.
Annmarie, there's an ancient belief that presidents, particularly second-term presidents, travel abroad to get away from the domestic headaches. You're grinding this day after day after day. Is that a truth now, that President Trump is escaping the domestic challenges, including the assassination of Mr. Kirk?
Well, he's been talking about it on this trip, and right from here, he has only a day or two in Washington, and then he's going to the funeral of Charlie Kirk. So he is going to be once again really dealing with the domestic headlines happening in the United States. And I wouldn't exactly say that he's escaping any domestic issues when it comes to his visit in the United Kingdom. Last night, you had a picture of President Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein projected on the walls of the castle, as well as a tennis court size photo of a banner of them laid out around the town of Windsor near the castle. So obviously those domestic headlines travel with the president wherever he goes. And we should note it is fairly a short trip. He's staying over really two nights, but two only full days. He has this state visit today. Tomorrow, a sit down with the prime minister, a lunch with Rachel Reeves, the chancellor of the Exchequer of the United Kingdom. Then he gives a press conference and he's off back to dealing with the domestic headlines in Washington.
So next, Annmarie, really, with all the CEOs that are there that you mentioned, some of the leading members of Mr. Trump's administration, is there an expectation that some trade deals can actually come out of this, or just some détente, perhaps?
Well, the economic deals are certainly happening with the billions of dollars these tech companies are going to spend in AI in the United Kingdom. When it comes to trade, the president said that maybe they could refine the deal, but we have reporting that the British government, which was expected to ask for the 25% steel tariff rate to drop to zero, as well as maybe an exemption on Scottish whiskey, is actually not going to be happening. They do not expect the U.S. to agree to that. Doesn't seem like that'll be part of the discussion. Potentially something I would look out for, especially given the fact that tech CEOs are coming here. They're spending billions of dollars in the United Kingdom. The United States might use that as leverage, especially since more than 20 congressional Republicans are asking the president to bring up the UK's digital services tax. That potentially could be used right now as leverage with the United States, especially given the fact that the president is going to be flanked by American executives who are putting a lot of capital right now in England when it comes to AI. So I imagine that might come up as well. But the trade deal is largely done. If we get anything on that front, I'd use the president's own word. It'd likely just be a small refinement.